Howdy folks, hope you're all having a good one, and welcome back to World of Tanks with the Mighty Jingles. And we have an amazing game for you today. And one of the things that's amazing about it is it's a light tank replay and it's not a Rorix 78, although when he sees this battle, and I know he will, I think he's going to be very, very proud of Cuttlebutt here in the AMX-12T in this Tier 6 encounter battle here on the Sand River map. For reasons that will become apparent very, very quickly. Controversial opinion, by the way. I don't like the AMX-12T. I don't like it one little bit. I don't actually think it's a very good tank. I don't think it's a particularly bad tank either. I mean, it's got great concealment, it's tiny, so it's hard to hit, it's pretty quick, although, 60 kilometers per hour is nothing special anymore. It's got excellent penetration values on this 75mm gun, and it has good acceleration. But that's about it. Oh, look at all of those spots. I think there's the patrol duty medal straight away. Complete waste of time, of course, because with the exception of that Dick and Max and a Skoda T40, absolutely nobody on the team is going that way, so they're probably going to be the first ones to die. Oh well. So why don't I like the AMX-12T? What's bad about it? Well, for a start, it has incredibly fragile modules. He's just damaged his own tracks. And that wasn't a particularly spectacular jump. There's plenty of other bad things about this tank though. One of the bad things is what is technically supposed to be one of the good things about it, this 4-shot 75mm autoloader. Look at how slow the reload is between shots in the clip. More on that later. Also, did you notice how long the aiming time is? I mean, technically you can spit those 4 shots out in a not particularly quick period of time, but if you actually want to hit anything with them, you have to spend even longer aiming at the target in a light tank with 650 hit points, and that's a recipe for disaster. Along with that horribly long aiming time, it's got terrible accuracy when you're either moving the turrets or moving the tank. The accuracy on the move is nothing short of abysmal. So in order to actually make use of that 4-shot autoloader, you basically have to be stationary and spending way more time than is comfortable aiming at the target. And if you're spotted when you're doing that, you're a dead man. And while it does have excellent radio signal range, bearing in mind that this is a light tank, it's a scout, it's tied with the MT-25 for having the second worst view range of the Tier 6 light tanks, with only the 5916 being worse. Oh yeah, the MT-25. The Soviet Tier 6 light tank that replaced the absolutely amazing T-50-2. More on that in a moment. As Cuttlebutt sneaks up on the enemy AMX-12T. Here's that accuracy on the move. Or inaccuracy on the move. 3 shots fired. Pretty much all of them at point blank range. Only one of them hit. Yeah, it's really, really bad. The thing is, I think the main reason why I really don't like the AMX-12T, and there are some, and I've just listed them, things to not like about the AMX-12T, is because when these French light tanks were introduced, its chief competition at the time... Oh, enemy Hellcat. Oh, spotted. Nope. Yeah, its chief competition at the time was the legendary T-50-2. And it's not really a fair comparison because there isn't a tank in the game that could compete with that thing in its heyday. And yet, that is what it was competing with in its heyday, and it definitely suffered by comparison. Watch him taking shots at this Hellcat. So, okay, the Hellcat missed, so he can basically fire again the second he's reloaded. He's only going to risk 2 additional shots, however. And even despite the fact that he was already scooting out there before going for the 4th shot, he still took a hit from the Hellcat. You see how quickly Cuttlebutt fired though? Well, perhaps quickly isn't the right word, that's kind of the point. The length of time it took him to get those 3 shots off. And bear in mind, that's supposed to be the chief advantage of this tank, of all French autoloaders, the burst damage potential with a fully loaded autoloader. And look at how long it took him to get those shots. And then look at how long he's had to run away reloading, unable to shoot at anything, in order to get another 4 very, very slowly aimed and not that quickly firing shots off, in this case against the Panzer IV-H. The T-50-2 pretty much fired as quickly as this all the time, and didn't need no 30-second reload once it had fired 4 shots. And it was faster, and it had actual armour. But maybe 2 shots at the Hellcat. Yeah, he's not going to risk a third. And that was a wise move, because the Hellcat would have punished him. Bear in mind, that's a Hellcat player, and he's not dead nearly 5 minutes into the battle, so he's clearly capable of thinking and breathing at the same time, and should be treated with a healthy measure of respect. Also, perfect example there of this thing's absolutely abysmally bad gun elevation and mediocre gun depression. If this thing isn't parked on level ground, it's more or less impossible to point this gun at anything. Although it's not really fair to single out the AMX-12T because of that. I mean, that's basically true of all the French tanks with the oscillating turrets, that ammunition bustle at the back. Bear in mind, if you want to point the gun up, that bit at the back has to go down, and there's a limit to how far it can go down before it hits the hull. Hence the horrible gun elevation. But at the same time, while it's not fair to single out the AMX-12T because of that, it is something that's common to all of the French tanks with oscillating turrets. It's still not a good thing. There's now only 2 of them left alive against 7 enemies, by the way. Finishes off the VK. There's now only 2 of them left alive against 6 enemies, but the KV-1SA is, well, is now dead. So now it is just Cuttlebutt against 6 enemies. He has 381 hit points. The enemy team have, yeah, a lot more than that. And he's going to have to do his own spotting, of course. And he's probably getting very, very nervous about that Hellcat that was behind him. So it's time to scoot. Hopefully, it will soon also be time to shoot. Even more hopefully, without getting spotted in the process. So this is encounter mode. There is the 1 capture circle. And so far, nobody on the enemy team appears to think that that's important. Until they do. And there's only 1 in the enemy... Well, it's not the enemy base, is it? It's the base. So it's going to take 4 minutes for whoever that is to capture it alone. So Cuttlebutt has time. I'll pop up here in the bushes and try to spot. Okay, there we go. That's that Panzer IV again. And there's the reset. And he didn't get spotted, and he kills him. He's going to get 1 shot against the M10. It doesn't impact. And they will have known where those shots came from. So he shoots, and now he scoots. Of the 5 remaining enemies, 2 are artillery. There's still only the 1 tank in the cap circle. Again, probably the M10 or the FM, so he does have time to go artillery hunting, if he chooses to do so. Paying careful attention to how many enemy tanks are in that cap circle though. Because if that, and it has, there's now 2 of them in there. He no longer has time to go artillery hunting. He now has to react to the base being captured. Still got a minute and a half. And while this isn't the fastest light tank in the game, it's certainly not slow. 60 kilometers per hour top speed, and it does have excellent concealment. Although on a map like Sand River, there's not a lot of bushes. Oh, there's the Hellcat. The Hellcat's looking for him. Does he have a shot? And he aims, and he aims, and he aims some more, and no, he doesn't have a shot. And now he's got 1 minute left to reset this cap circle. Fortunately, he didn't get spotted, so anybody in the cap is still guessing as to where he is. At least somebody on the enemy team's capable of thinking. In fact, at least 2 of them, because there's 2 in the cap circle. And when the last tank left alive on the enemy team is a light tank, you don't waste your time chasing him around the map trying to find him. You go into the cap and make him come to you. This is going to be very, very dangerous, because he is getting spotted here. 35 seconds to go before the enemy team win by capping. He resets the M10, but he takes a hit in return, which blows his tracks off, immediately burns the repair kit and starts diddy-mowing the hell on out of there. There was the Semovente. Tempting, still got 3 shots, but it would take 2 to kill the Semovente, and they do kind of know where he is. There goes the artillery. He's not going for the reload. I mean, he only has 40 seconds left to reset the cap again. So he can't... Oh, there's the Semovente. He's going to be a 2-shot kill. There's 1. Oh, it bounced. And that bounce is going to cost him, because the 3rd shot kills him. but he was loitering there long enough for the Hellcat to land a hit. Now he only has 43 hit points remaining. He cannot afford to take a hit from anything. At this point, even artillery splash damage is going to kill him. And artillery is on the ball. Yeah. So there's one of them over there. That's good to know. Oh shit! The Hellcat didn't fall for his which way am I going now gag. And by some miracle, while not being stationary and spending 2 seconds aiming, he actually managed to hit and kill the MCAT. MCAT? Forgotten how to speak English. He actually managed to hit and kill the Hellcat with his first shot. And now he's got, I don't even know which artillery this is. It's the M44. And he aims, and he aims. Yeah, it doesn't happen, does it? Okay, now he's going to go for the reload. I'm pretty sure it's just the M10 RBFM in the cap circle, so he has 2.5 minutes. Plenty of time, unless the SU-122A decides to join him in the cap circle, plenty of time to hunt down and potentially kill the M44. But remember, 135 damage per shot with this 75mm gun, so it's going to take 2, maybe 3 shots to kill him. And the M44 with its HE doesn't even need to hit him to... Oh, and he's bounced. There's one. It's going to take 3 shots. The gun depression failed him. Oh, he didn't risk the third. The M44 shotguns narrowly misses. He now must make this shot count. M44 goes for the ram, leaps over him. Wait for it, there it is. He's got him. And he appears to be in a relatively artillery-safe position. Might even be out of range of the SU-122A. Certainly no further incoming artillery fire. Oh, me and my big mouth. He's definitely in range. And there's the Top Gun. But if he wants to win this match, well, he's got 1.5 minutes or slightly less than that to reset the cap and kill what is almost certainly going to be the M10 RBFM. And then he's going to have to hunt down and kill the SU-122A as well. At least he knows there's only one of them in the cap circle. He's got 1 minute or so to get there and do something about it. Which is time, but thanks to the detour killing the M44, it's not a huge amount of time. He can't really afford to do anything flashy. That doesn't mean he's going to take any stupid chances though. He is fully reloaded. Sneaking in through the riverbed here. And then he stops, and he's going to reverse in, because the gun depression isn't too bad over the rear of the tank. There he is. It's going to take 3 shots. 1 more. Gotcha. And now, whoa, that was close. He didn't have an awful lot of choice though. He needed to kill the M10 and then get the hell out of there. Taking the scenic route around here. Trying to confuse the artillery as to which way he's going. And also, by lucky coincidence, a very, very artillery safe spot through the narrow crack between those 2 rocks there. Careful to avoid actually going into the cap circle, because there's only 2 minutes of this battle left, and it takes 4 minutes to solo cap in encounter mode, so there's no way he's winning this one by capping. And he doesn't want to let the SU-122A get the slightest clue as to exactly where he is. Notice he switched to the gold ammo. Not that he needs gold ammo to deal with artillery, but while this thing used to only carry 36 rounds of ammo, it now carries 44. It's still not a lot, and he's only got 2 rounds of armor piercing left, and it would take potentially 3 to kill a full health SU-122A. So rather than risk it, he's switched to the what he knows is going to be a full load. There he is. Wait for it. Take your time. It's going to take... Oh, actually, it only took 1. He hammer-racked him. And what a way to finish. Bonus style points for the 8th kill on the SU-122A with an ammo rack detonation. Hell of a way to finish. And of course, as well as the rather obvious ace tanker, Cuthbert also managed to score himself the Vespucci's medal for killing at least 2 enemy self-propelled guns, the Kolobanov's medal, which he earned by standing alone as the last tank on the team against at least 5 enemies, and there were 6, the Radley Walters medal for 7 kills, and he scored 8, the Scout medal for, well, scouting, fairly obvious, Defender for all of those cap resets, and of course you've got the Radley Walters medal. You also pick up the Top Gun award for 6 kills. And while he didn't do the most amount of damage on the team, That particular honour goes to the Flat Panzer, who managed to do a very respectable more than 3,000 damage. Cuttlebutt's 2,730 with a shitty little long-aiming 75mm gun that makes you twiddle your thumbs for 30 seconds every time you spurt a few shots off is nothing to be ashamed of. So, I can't wait to see what Aurorik thinks of this one. I know you're watching, Aurorik. I'm waiting for your comments. And I hope everybody else enjoyed Cuttlebutt's amazing display of skill here in the thoroughly mediocre AMX-12T in this Tier 6 battle here on Sound River. Hope you all enjoyed it, and as always, take care, and I'll catch you next time.